Now, I noticed you hold your pick like that.
Yeah, it started because I first helped.
Oh, you do a Steve Morse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar, yeah. But see, if you go like this, now you can play it in triplets or down, 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 down. So, what the main one, and so you can start moving it all over the neck. See, one of the things with building technique is that when you learn a short exercise, you can move it all over the place. But if you work on this slow and go, it's a great exercise. Now here's another one too. You can go play a major scale, for example.
Do you prefer, if you were to do that, going back and forth, would you prefer alternate picking or economy picking?
Probably alternate. Okay, but when you're going to watch me play tonight, when I start, I play alternate picking really fast. When it gets into hyperdrive, transwarp drive, that becomes, then I do more economy picking. As I've gotten older, I use it a lot more because it's when you're doing, I mean, there's like, but when you're playing economy, it's less tension on your body, okay? And so, but if this is one of Gambale's exercises, so and he goes like, he ends it like this, he goes, I'm sorry. And see, because one of the things with economy, it has to fit in the sequence. It doesn't always work. So you have to figure out ways to make it work. And see, so what he did is he created a major scale pattern that fit economy. Whereas you don't have to do that with alternate. You just, alternate, you can play anything you want anywhere. You just have to go down, up, down. But see, the same thing with alternate picking. The one exercise I came up with is this. Because what you're doing is you're isolating the problem. And the problem is hitting a new string on an upstroke. What's the problem with economy picking? Hitting the new string on the same stroke direction as the string before it. So does that make sense to everybody? So I hope that helped, but it's in Speed Kills. The DVD you're going to get talks about, but it has the exercises I'm referring to. And so it's like, it has so many cool exercises. And one of the things too, there are so many great guitar players nowadays. And we're really seeing a guitar renaissance. And I'm really happy because my goal was that, it's a little self-serving because when I helped other people, it helped me be better. Somebody asked me, well, how do you do this, man? I could lie to them, give them a bunch of BS. But also if I said the truth, and I said, well, and I really thought about it, it actually helped me be better because then I understood more about what I did. So nothing for nothing, there's always something involved. But with these exercises from Speed Kills, this is, if you think of it in the house, this is the foundation of the house. A lot of times guitar players want to play the roof, okay? They want to play way above, and they can do it, okay? But they don't have the foundation. So what happens every once in a while is the rain comes and the house crumbles. Or you get, now they might be the best metaphor, but the shit hits the fan. And the reason for that is because these are the foundations. These are the principles of what you play. Anything you do after that is after that. So because you don't want, when you learn here, it's easy to build. When you put the roof on first, yeah, the house might be okay at first, but it's gonna blow. You don't have that foundation. And these riffs on Speed Kills are the foundation because they're based on my experience of centuries of music, and that's what my expertise is. Okay, I hope that helped. Is there any other questions before?
I have kind of a unique technique.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you could critique it again.
I would be happy to. Now, you might be asking why I'm playing with the tone like this. It really exposes a lot, okay? Like in a real, because if we have the monster sound like I've got in the rig, then anybody can sound good. You know, we want to hear what's going on. Okay, sorry about that. 30 feet. Nice guitar. That's great. So what's the question?
So I play two different ways. I developed a technique where I put my pick forward, and I have a technique where I put my.
Can you demonstrate both? Let me look. So you're downward and upward? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I flip my pick totally back.
Play it one more time. I mean, I can see really good from it.
So I
And then the second one is?
up and then up down.
Okay.
And-
What? Yes, I'm listening.
So the biggest thing is I got this picking technique partially from Sean Lane.
From
And
what?
it was Sean Lane.
Okay, yeah, he was super fast.
Yeah. And it's, for me, that picking technique is kind of fifth gear. It is a lighter technique. It allows me to blow through most things. But it is, if you have a certain distortion, it does sound weaker.
Is it hurting your hand at all?
Not really. Sometimes you can get a hand fatigue, but that's kind of normal.
Right.
I was wondering if there could be any injuries.
Well, if I can, I mean, I jammed with Sean Lane. It was in Memphis a long time ago, and yeah, I mean, he was playing one of those Roland guitar synth things. I don't know if you ever saw it. It's a Roland guitar with a big bar across the top, and I swear, it looked like a mandolin on him. He was a big dude, but he had an uncanny fast playing. One of the things I never really, that Powers of 10, he never really achieved the acclaim that he probably should have. But everybody, I've heard demos of him for a long time. What I can say is, I think. See, you're really fast, okay, and you've got good technique. I think, humbly, that you might be picking a little too light. You know what I mean? Because when you, the best pickers, and I'm going to even use Brad Paisley. He's one of my favorite guitar players. But when you see all the different styles, from Di Meola to, just name any guitar player that they play a little more aggressively. And I think a lot of what Sean Lane did, this is, it's hindsight's always 20/20, but it was so fast. But it was, like you said, it was a lighter touch. So, it didn't come off like, it didn't it didn't sound like a lot of bullets in the gun. And so I don't, but that's, and I don't know of many, like when you watch Joe Bonamassa, you ever watch his Instagram videos? I love his scowling. He's like, he's pissed off at the world, but he plays hard, man. And the difference between, I'll give a great example, girls today, like the Nita Strausses versus girls before YouTube, and really YouTube is the thing that changed it all, when you could watch. When I was growing up, the only way I could watch somebody was either if it was on TV or if it was in concert. And so we only heard the riffs, we couldn't actually see it. It's kind of like, we don't know how Mozart played. But I can tell you this, the thing that separates women today is the aggression in which they play. And there's more girl guitar players starting now than guys. But it's the playing field's much more even because they figured it out. Everybody can watch online the aggressiveness of professional players. There's two things I would point out. One, you're really good. Okay, so that's the given. Okay, but the two things are this. I think you got to pick which way you're going to pick. I think you have to take a stand. You know what I mean? You're playing both ends against the middle a little bit, and here's what'll happen. Like I noticed when you did both techniques, you stopped. So, like, can you do both simultaneously? Like, do one and then seamlessly switch to the other?
Only for old blues licks, so like I'll do like.
Well, I guess it works, but in my opinion, if you're playing like this and you're playing like this, you know, you're switching back and forth. That's a lot of stress on your wrist, you know. And I mean, you're still a young guy, but I would pick one, you know. And the only other thing that I could say is that I think when you're playing really fast, to me, it's a little bit on the light side. Now again, if you want to play it like Sean Lane, that's fine, you know, because he was amazing, you know. But to me, I think if you're gonna play, it needs to have a little bit more of that, because it gives more of an impact to people, you know. And again, I just defer to, like, pick a guitar player you like besides Sean Lane.
Guthrie Govan.
Okay, he's the same one. He picks really hard. He played on 2 of my records, you know, and you know, I know him, but he plays a lot of different styles. He really digs in. And when you're playing the bluesy stuff, you dig in. When you play really fast, it's not quite as aggressive as a Guthrie would be, or me, or somebody, or an Al Di Meola or John Petrucci. But it's really good. I mean, can you play the blues riffs with your Sean Lane technique or no?
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. If it doesn't bother you, you know, because it seems like you're doing 2 distinctly different styles. So, I mean, it's not like it's harmful, you know, but if it was me, I'd pick one, you know, and because I've never actually seen somebody use 2 different ones, but that doesn't mean it's not working. You know, it seems to work for it. It's great. I mean,
I tried picking the lighter technique, but I grew up playing the other way, so it's easier for me to, when I learn stuff, I choose one way to learn, and then it just comes when I change it. But I heard Sean Lane actually moved his pick the same way. You probably...
No, that I didn't know. Well, if it works for you, but I can just tell you, you know, Sean Lane unfortunately didn't live long enough to find out. But I think, you know, it's, in my thinking, it's like if you're a baseball player, we're not talking about switch hitting, but say you bat like this, sometimes you bat like this. You know, if you're a pitcher, sometimes you throw like that. Now granted, there's other pitches, but if you like actually change, that can't be good for your rotator cuff after a while. So I'm thinking, if you're moving your wrist these different ways, eventually you might find a problem. Maybe not, you know, but you're the only living person I've seen do it. So you are the person, you're the benchmark for this, but that's what I would do. But it sounds great.